My name is Jasmine Jones, and I am a licensed clinical social worker, and you're now watching Black Girl, a therapist in the wild. And it's a little show I like to call Therapist Sips and Reviews. And today we are reviewing Abbott Elementary, Season 4, Episode 6, The Deli. And we are sipping on, what was it? Kahlua, cream de cacao, and oat milk, yes? Mm-hmm. Tastes like chocolate milk in the name of Jesus. How y'all doing? So this week, more hijinks ensue, and basically, it's just these little cute things that just keep happening. It's a calming show. Like it's hard to find issues with the show, or there's no real drama. I think the situation with keep accepting gifts from the white man is probably gonna bite them in the ass eventually, but it may not. Like they don't really let bad things continuously happen and explode on them, so it may not. And anyway, so this week, whatchamacallit, the deli across the street is being gentrified because of the golf course that they're building in the neighborhood. And so they upped the lease, and he can't afford the lease. And so now a smoothie shop is going to move in, right? Gregory's like super excited. I guess one of his fixations is smoothies because he's autistic. I don't know what you're talking about. And so, like, Gregory's excited about it. And then Jacob and Barbara and Melissa are like, no, this is our deli shop. It's been here forever, blah, blah, blah. And so, like, they decide to try to, like, figure out how they can not let that happen. And so, Melissa and Barbara go to, like, one of the locations for the, whatchamacallit? Girl, I'm tired. I've been up since 6 this morning. It is 6 in the evening. Working and shit, so I'm a little off right now, but whatever, we're gonna get through this. So they go to one of the locations for the other smoothie places because it's a franchise. And lo and behold, they find out they like the way the smoothie tastes. So they don't mind a smoothie shop coming in. And I like how they illustrated, like, this is how these neighborhoods get bamboozled into believing gentrification's good. You throw a Chick-fil-A in a neighborhood where there was no Chick-fil-A before. You throw, a nice little restaurant in a neighborhood, and slowly but surely the people in the neighborhood are like, well, maybe it's okay to have these tasty places. That's how you get gaslit and bamboozled by the man. And I love how they show how even the school people is getting gaslit and bamboozled by the man. And I'm just like, but Jacob, he was still standing strong, but they bought him back a smoothie sample, and this nigga like throw it in the trash and be like, no, I don't want the smoothie. And then he gonna dig it out while they ain't looking and drink the shit, and then like decide, he goes, well, I'm good, I changed my mind, like maybe we should have the smoothie shop. And he had like some smoothie on his shirt, so Gregory spotted it because that's his fixation because he's autistic. And he's like, you have acai on your shirt, and da-da-da. And they was like, where'd you get it? Did you Postmate a smoothie here? And he was like, I didn't Postmate a smoothie here. And then they realized that he dug out the trash can and got the smoothie out the trash. And then Barbara's like, Jacob, you stop eating out the trash can. And y'all, this little girl's face, I had to rewind it. That shit was hilarious. She was just like, she was horrified. No, show more of the kids' facial expressions. We got 3 or 4 seasons of just Gregory doing his little towards the camera facially. No, show the kids, y'all. That shit is, do more of that. That little baby was just like, oh my God. She was hilarious. I'm still seeing her face. Anyway, so like, now they don't want to protest, but Jacob's already put the signs up around the neighborhood and the flyers about protesting and all this other stuff, and got the Black Lives Matter people involved and shit like that for the neighborhood. So they start protesting, right? And then like Jacob's like, they all run out there and they're like, no, stop the protest. We want to keep it because, you know, we like the fucking Slurpees and shit. And I'm just like, girl, it starts with a smoothie and ends with all y'all being kicked out the neighborhood. Don't do that. But no, I think they did that to show just how easy, like, the neighborhood folks can get bamboozled into thinking gentrification is okay, because that's what it starts with. It starts with these little, like, eateries and, you know, places like and then you start getting priced out your shit because, oh, now we moved the maestros into the neighborhood, and so it's stupid shit like that. And so you can't let these white folks, proximity to whiteness is not where it's at, y'all. So anyways, like, because of their little 5-minute protest in front of the deli, though, like, the deli owner gets to stay and the lease gets to stay the same because the leasing agent is like, no, this is doing too much. Like, I didn't expect all of this. I just wanted some extra money and shit. And so they mad, and then they end up, the deli owner loves them so much, he ends up making smoothies and shit, and the shit is gross. Like, who menthol? Like, you thought that was the flavor? Like, just stick to the sandwiches, the hoagies, whatever the fuck they be making over there. And then Janine over here, she got this child in her class with pica. So pica is when you eating random shit that's not food. And sometimes it can be tied to like learning disabilities and autism because they get like fixations on the taste. It can be attached to anxiety. It's usually based off like a mental health issue and stuff. Like if you bite your nails and shit like that, that's kind of what pica is. That it gives you a good feeling to eat the paper, and so you keep eating the paper when you get anxious. Or if you got autism and you have like this neurodivergency sensory issue where the paper tastes magically delicious and shit, to outside of everything, you gonna eat the paper and shit. So she's trying to figure out how to get this child to stop eating the paper, right? And so she asking everybody, and then here come Ava, because Ava used to eat crayons or some shit. And she was like, well, you gotta replace it with something similar to it. So, you know, it's like when we got clients that be cutting themselves, and like, so basically they're not just gonna cold turkey stop cutting themselves. They need to find something similar to it that doesn't involve bleeding. So we tell them to put the rubber band around their wrist and snap it when they get upset, and this gives you a nice little sting, but you ain't bleeding and shit. And so like Janine was like, that's a good idea. So she goes and gets the paper the edible paper that they put on cakes and shit, and she gives it to the kid, and the kid's like, this tastes like cookies. I kind of want cookies. And then magically he doesn't have pica anymore, I guess. I don't fucking know. That's not necessarily, it doesn't work that fast, but this is a TV show, so we're just gonna let it ride, y'all. And then like, whatchamacallit, so Ava. So Ava, she is asked by Manny from the district to do like their version of a TED Talk, right? And at first she was for it, but then they wouldn't pay her, so she was like, no, fuck that. But then she like got advice from her homegirls and shit in the teacher's lounge. And they're like, no, do it, because then you out there already, and the school is out there, and we're more likely to get resources and shit, because, you know, like, so you get paid indirectly. So she, you know, Ava care about them kids in the school and shit. She just like be selfish sometimes. So anyways, Ava decides to do it. And she's excited because, like, I felt this in my heart, y'all. Like, she one of them loud bitches. She one of them loud, extravagant. She just an extra bitch. And she hood, too, on top of it. She say how she feels. She blunt. She even said it, like, she always feel like she too much and stuff. And people treat her like she too much. And I felt that shit because people be treating me like that. Like, that's why I'll be opening up to people like that I don't know. Because I just feel like, I know I can be very blunt and very obnoxious sometimes when I get comfortable and I feel safe in an environment. And if I get one fucked up look, I'm like, you know what? I don't even want to talk to y'all like that. Fuck y'all. I'm working on it. It's a work in progress. You know, you gotta trust people to like you and shit, or whatever the fuck therapy, you know, says. This shit is hard though. Like Ava don't give a fuck because like she got people that like her and shit. Like I'm still working on that. That's a work in progress, bitch. But she feel like she too much, and people have treated her like she too much. But she felt at first like this was validation. This was like, oh, they really see the work I'm putting in and the way I'm helping the kids and shit like that. I'm gonna do it, and so she does it, and it's basically all the way she been scamming the fucking school district and shit. And I'm just like, y'all really be calling yourself out in real life? Like Manny would have sent this to the head of the district and you would have been fired. What do you mean you had drug dealers in the gym, honey, with the children there at the school in the building? What? Why would you tell like? But so she felt bad and she was like, oh well, fuck them. If they don't like me, then fuck them. It's just like, I know, girl, fuck them, but like, no, like you gotta clean that shit up a little bit. You can't be telling motherfuckers to use the gym for unauthorized. You can't be telling people the quiet part out loud is basically what it is. The common sense part. Like, it's not that, I don't think it's that you too much, girl. I think it's that you a hustler and you hustle and you figure it out. But as most hustlers know, there are ways that we figure things out that no one needs to know out loud in the world, because we could go to jail and it's fraud and shit. It's like when you get a new job and you go to the older black woman at the job that seems nice because she's been there the longest, and this is not all of them are going to be nice. So don't quote me on this, because not all the older black women at the job is. But if you find an older black woman at the job that happens to be nice, she gonna tell you all the secrets, the way to get away with shit, the way to the way to it, like she gonna tell you the stuff about the job that you need to know. Like that Eric over there got an attitude, he an asshole and shit, so don't ask him for nothing. The Doris over there, she gonna tell all your secrets and shit, so don't tell her shit. Like, she gonna tell you all the stuff, but you don't go over to Doris and tell her, well, she said that you was a bitch. So there's some common sense things that Ava is missing, which I understand. I used to be like that. I'm not as much like that anymore. Like, I can still have my moments, like when I'm not paying attention and I don't give a fuck about what you think. Well, I'll just say it out loud. Like, I remember one time I was like going to the graduation dinner. We was at dinner with one of my former friends and her family, right? And I went to USC, right? So everybody at the table was making fun of me and shit, like, we're at UCLA and blah blah blah. And I'm not a jokester. I don't rag on people because I'm mean. And so I felt the heat rising up in my body. I was getting angry. Everybody kept talking shit about my school. And that was when I cared that I went to USC like that. And I just said, well, at least I'm the only one at the table that got a master's degree. So, and the crickets, everybody just got silent. And I was just like, what? No, because y'all got me over here, everybody at the table making fun of me, and I told y'all, like, that's enough. You not stopping. So, you know what? I'm the only one at the table with a master's degree. The silence, it was, whoo, shit. Don't make fun of me because I observe people, and you won't know that I'm observing you, the things you say, what you do, how you're acting towards yourself and other people, because I observe those things first. And if you come and you try to say some mean shit to me, I'll be like, didn't you say your mama died from cancer or some shit? No, because I'm not a mean person. I'm not going to start nothing with nobody because I know that I can't take a joke. I know that I cannot take a joke. And I try my best not to like try to rag on people or make them feel bad or nothing like that, because I can't take a joke. So I don't do that shit to you, but you make a point to come and say some shit to me, bitch. I'm a sensitive soul. I will hurt your motherfucking feelings stand there and be like, because I've healed from my stuff. You can say my mama died all day, every day. I'll be like, yup. She gone. She in the ground and shit. I don't know. What do you want me to say with that? Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, but I know that if I said it to you, it would hurt your fucking feelings, bitch. Because I know people. And I know how people respond to shit when you poke them. And I don't poke, bitch. I stab you in the fucking neck. So I get it. Like, she doing that shit without unprovoked, though. Like, she doing that shit unprovoked. Like, nobody's provoking you to say this shit and get yourself. Why are you telling this nigga you had drug dealers in the gym? The nigga that is your boss and are connected to your boss, whoever the fuck he is. So Ava tells Janine, like, I've often been told I'm too much, and fuck these niggas, and I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm paraphrasing. That's but that's what she meant. And then Janine's like, well, let me look at your presentation. And so she basically ratting on herself. And she's like, no, Ava, like, you got to think about, like, why you do these things. Because you are encouraging and care about the school and the children and the teachers. And you've helped people and you've encouraged people to change and grow and evolve and all these other things. And so you need to write about those. You need to talk about those things and shit. And Ava's just like, but they said that I didn't, I couldn't do it anyways. And Janine's like, well, let me give the district a call and shit. So Janine, they don't like Janine over there, but she gonna give it a try. And I guess they allowed Ava to do her little situation, and she did her speech, and it went well. She did good. She just gotta learn how to, like, have nuance and shit. Like, it's hard to have nuance when you don't give a fuck what people think, though. No, you really don't. Like, you don't care if people like you or not. Like, oh well. So don't mess with my money. That's all. I hate that they showing that nigga on her desk, though. Like, they had to make a point of it. No, she's still with that basketball nigga. And I'm just like, I guess he got money, though. So, like, maybe he's treating her right. We never see him again. Maybe he's going to come later in the season or some shit. Don't show another nigga treating her like he want to throw her across the desk and pound the Mario coins out of her when she already with a nigga. And maybe that's why she wasn't on that nigga, because she's not single. And that's good. She's not a cheater, and she got a nigga with money. Why would she want little ITT Tech when she can have this nigga with millions? Let me shut up. She got it. She got her own. She got her own. But anyways, I just feel like they shouldn't keep taking stuff from these white people, though, like the gym equipment and the computers. Like, that's enough, because if they come back and there's some bullshit at the district, but you know what? I said it in the last seasons and stuff too, where I thought, like, when the charter school came, I thought it was gonna be a big rumble in the jungle with the nigga from Hamilton and shit. But that just kind of fizzled away. So I don't think they're trying to make these like but then no, I don't think they're trying to make these seasons into like big deals and shit. I think it's just supposed to be a gentle, soft show with gentle, soft things happening. And I'm not mad at it. They got their little parachute thing they threw up in the air, and all them ran under at the end. It was so gentle and magical. And I'm really trying to dive into the gentle magicalness, because it helps lower stress. It helps lower the stress, y'all. And so I'm a vibe with it. Like, I don't need like all the extras and shit, like all the dramas and the dramatics and shit. I need some stress lowering things, some cortisol lowering shows, some peaceful things and shit. So you know what? I feel like it's a vibe. I like it. I love it. And I hope you enjoyed this review, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Later days.